So I spend a lot of time looking at the information about Ukraine and sifting things, and sometimes it feels overwhelming. And so I saw a couple of memes about Zelensky and Trump's meeting in the at the Pope's funeral, and so I found one, and then I stumbled over another, and then I stumbled over a third. So I thought, let me go find all the memes that are out there and see what's actually funny. And there were some pretty funny things, and that's what I'm going to share with you. So we're going to start here because like this wasn't about what happened there, but this was about what happened with Trump in the Oval Office, where they're talking about you don't have the cards. And there was a whole series of memes that came out with this, with the you don't have the cards kind of language from that terrible Oval Office meeting. So
right now, not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
Okay, so you don't have the cards. There's another one similar to that I'm not going to show you right now. So to get to the Pope's funeral, and the Pope's funeral should be a somber experience, and it was. Everybody was reasonably dignified and well behaved. There was this meeting off on the side where President Trump and President Zelensky got together and talked for about 15 minutes. You also saw things like this huddle of Starmer and Macron and Zelensky and Trump. And even this led to some memes like, I'll show you that in just a moment. And then Zelensky was meeting with other heads of state that were huddled around him at this funeral. So, okay, but this is the one that got most of the attention. It was, and something kind of feels like it shifted a little bit. I was watching Fox News last night. The hard news at 6 o'clock, hard news, Brett Baer's coverage. And like they had two large segments on Ukraine. Both were very positive. It was really interesting to see. Maybe there's some kind of shifting here. Okay. At any rate, this is one of the memes, and it's not a great meme. But I mean, people were putting stuff out there. Give me money, give me peace. I don't really like this one. Now, I don't really like this meme either. This one has Zelensky kissing the Pope's ring, and the Pope is Trump. Not a big fan of this one either. Then we have Zelensky as the Pope and Donald Trump's supplicant talking to the Pope. And I don't know that either of them need to be the Pope. So let's move on from there. Gets a little better, an homage back to the you don't have the cards. Maybe they do have cards. They're playing cards here. And then there's another one. Now, this, again, you can tell what the bias of the author is when, Trump is oversized here and Zelensky is extra small. Trump has all the right cards and all these chips, and Zelensky has far lower cards. Not a big fan of this one, but these are the memes that were coming out. Now, this one I thought was actually really interesting. They're playing Jenga. Jenga is this game where like you have these blocks, like 3 blocks, and you add 3, and then you add 3, and you add 3, and add 3. And the point is to be the last one that doesn't knock the tower over by knocking out a block here or there. This is actually a pretty interesting metaphor for what could be happening with world order or a potential world war or something along these lines if they're not careful. So I like the Jenga metaphor. Then you saw serious talk at the Vatican. Zelensky, we need to end the war. Trump, okay, but first tell me what's the best angle for posting this meeting on Truth Social. Well, haha, but at the same time, yeah, there was an immediate Truth Social post that came out after this. And the good news is that the Truth Social post was more positive than what had happened before. Yes, you went through the standard rigmarole of, this is Biden's horrible war, and if I was president, it never would have happened. But then he was saying, maybe Putin's playing me, right? After talks with the Ukrainian president, Trump's language toward the Russian leader turned colder, and that was positive. This was only 15 minutes of their discussion. I don't know what they said, but 15 minutes. Okay. And then you had images like this. This was, again, these 4, Macron, Starmer, Trump, and Zelensky. And you see memes like, again, he doesn't wear a suit, Trump says. Macron saying, relax, bro. Okay. Now, you can see kind of the ideological place where that person's coming from. But then you can also say this or see this. Don't you have a black suit? Zelensky asking to Trump. Right? So that was an interesting thought. There was a lot of unnecessary talk about the suit, just like in the Oval Office, not wearing the suit was unnecessary given where Zelensky's coming from and what he's standing for by wearing what he's wearing. There was some articles even talking about how the Vatican asked Pope Francis funeral attendees to wear all black, and Trump wore a blue suit. Well, this was posted by someone as propaganda versus reality, because like you see this and you see Trump just in blue and everybody else in black. And now Trump being Trump, you wouldn't put it past him to do that, right? I mean, this is how Trump is, he wants attention. But then if you look at a different picture, here's Trump in a blue suit, but there's Biden in a blue suit, and here's lots of other people in blue suits. So yeah, it's really nothing except for generating upset. Biden's blue suit looks a lot darker blue, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still a blue suit, so okay. There were memes like this of like Trump was so hunched over. This is wrong ergonomically. This is the right posture ergonomically. Okay, that's a pretty funny meme. And then we saw this. I think Putin may be the problem. Duh. But good, he's getting it. He's understanding that Putin may be the problem. Maybe I don't know what they said in that 15-minute meeting, but yeah, Putin is playing him. And then you see some that are just really interesting because of the contrast. So here is Donald Trump and here's Zelensky talking close together, 15 minutes, and then here you see Putin and Dugin, and like what an interesting comparison between them. Or there's an even more interesting comparison, and that's this. This is Trump and Zelensky again talking to each other at a very close proximity, having space. Trump is listening to what Zelensky has to say, and Zelensky's listening to Trump. And then on top, you see this meeting from years ago before the war kicked off, where Putin kept Macron at a distance, and like, okay, maybe it was COVID talking, but maybe it was also some kind of weird power play. And I mean, Trump's all about the power plays too, but that's not what's going on here. It's just an interesting contrast. Okay, the last one, and this is my favorite, and I hesitate to show it. I did show it the other day. I hesitate to show it again. I'm not trying to offend any Catholics here, but this was kind of funny. Trump declares himself the new pope, and of course he's not going to be the pope. No one knows more about poping than me, just because Trump's always about like, I'm the best, I'm the biggest, I'm the greatest, I'm the richest. Yeah. I mean, it sounds almost like a song. All these memes, it was interesting to see the perspective of the people but some actually brought out some really interesting thoughts or some really interesting understanding to this simple conversation between Zelensky and Trump. Okay, I hope that brought a little bit of a smile to your face, and thank you for listening to me as long as you did. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Put in the comments below what you thought about these memes, because I'd be curious to hear what you had to say. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.